everyone and welcome back. It's been a minute. I know life lately is so crazy and I'm so excited to sit down again and film a video for you guys because it's been a while. How are you? How has life been for you? We have entered 2025, crazy, and I'm back on the island as you can see. I have my laptop back. Oh my goodness. I think it was in Sarah's now for 5 weeks or so. This is actually why I didn't film this video sooner because there was no way I could edit and upload it. But I'm back. Yay! I'm so happy. And today we are going to talk about the pros and the cons of this island. I also interviewed my friends to get their perspectives and their points, and it was so interesting and so fun to do. I'm so happy that I did it, and also thank you so much for asking for a video like this in the comments in the last few videos or under the last few videos. It was so helpful and very interesting to see what kind of videos you want to watch. So the next one will be a how to move to the island kind of video. I'm also working on that right now, so that will go up next week. But today we're just going to talk about the pros and the cons about the island, about the Azores. And again, with these kind of videos or these kind of like pros and cons, it's very based on preferences here, on my preferences and on the preferences of my friends. However, I think most of it will be still very helpful. So just keep that in mind, that some of the things that we like, you might not like, or things that we don't like will be fantastic for you. So we just have a mix of all, and I have it all written down here. A ton of notes, but let's just get into it, and we just go with the flow here today. So one of the first things that is a pro and a con is the climate. So the overall weather, like today, is just absolutely amazing. You've seen it in my vlogs. If you watch my vlogs, you will seen it. Fantastic weather. In summer, it is not too hot, at least for me. I think we had about like 27, 28 degrees Celsius in summer. It was absolutely perfect. It does feel sometimes like the sun is quite strong, so you do feel very warm, very hot in summer, but it's not too crazy. And even now in the winter time, like we are at the end of January, and today is now a beautiful day. I will get into that in a second. Now we have the sun. It is quite warm outside. I think we had even days when we had 20 degrees Celsius here in January. It does feel a little bit more different because we have more humidity. It's a lot more humid now. So it does feel a little bit different, but the sun is shining, the sky is blue, it is just fantastic. So I really love that. But that being said, the con about the climate and this kind of weather is, especially now in the wintertime, we have like 4 seasons in one day. So last night we had it was like a storm. It was very windy, it was very strong, and I kept waking up in the middle of the night because it was just so loud and so strong, and like, I don't know, I just couldn't sleep. Like, it was crazy. And then this morning when I finally woke up, slept way too long again because it was just a crazy night. It was very much raining. Like, it was raining out of buckets basically. Like, it was very hardcore this morning, very gray, very wet. And now I think it is like around 12 o'clock, midday. The sun is out. The sky is blue. It's fantastic weather. Like, I cannot wait to go outside. But you never know how long it lasts. Like, we do have like 4 seasons in one day right now. Some days are more sunny than others, more rainy than others. Sometimes the wind is stronger than on other days. But it is true when you hear people say we have 4 seasons in one day. And also the humidity right now is it's a lot. And you have to kind of like work against it, like constantly. You have not really heaters. Like, I don't know if you can see it, I have the AC right there, but that's the only one in this entire apartment. So I have a dehumidifier. I don't know what these things are called, but it kind of like takes out the moisture of the air, and you have like, it catches like the water, and then you have to kind of like empty it out. and you have to keep kind of like making sure that things are just dry at all times. And yeah, it's a lot right now. But it's fine. Again, the humidity also has its pros because it's so good for your skin as well. Like, I don't have dry skin at the moment, which I used to have during the winter when I was living in Germany. Really bad. Like, I would, scratch my legs open because they were so dry and itchy. I don't have that at all here. It's so nice. But you have to constantly also work against the humidity and the mold that might appear at all times right now. Laundry is not drying as quickly right now, but if you have a dryer, it's fine again. So again, pros, cons, preferences. The next big plus is that you can also save a lot of money. And this goes gonna go in different directions right now. First thing that one of my friends says that was actually a con is that you don't really have a lot of places where you can order food. Which, yes, it's true. Like here, I don't even know if I'm able to order pizza to my apartment. I have no clue. Maybe pizza, but that would be it, because we don't really have a lot of restaurants in the area where I live. And in Ponta Delgada, you do have a few more places, but they are not really into delivering food. And yeah, it's just not a thing here. Like, you do have more restaurants where you can eat out, like in the city, but overall on the island, we don't really have that much variety. And so if you're someone that is like dependent on like ordering food, you won't like it here. But if you like cooking yourself and just go to a restaurant here and there, just trying out different things once, twice a month, you will be very happy here. So for me, I'm fine. I love cooking, and I also noticed that, again, because you don't have a lot of options or not as many options, you do save money quite a bit, which I really, really love. So this is a pro and a con when it comes to food. We also have always an ocean view. Guys, I cannot tell you how in love I am every single day with the ocean views. It is spectacular. I just love it so much. And it doesn't really matter where you're at on the island. You always have an ocean view to one of your sides, if not two sides. It's crazy. It is so beautiful. I love it so much. And that goes hand in hand with another big plus on how much variety we have when it comes to nature. I know I said we don't really have a lot of variety when it comes to food and restaurants, but we do have a lot of variety when it comes to nature and what the island is giving. We have forests, we have beaches, we have the countryside, we have a little bit of city life in Ponta, we have it all. And it is like every single corner on this island looks completely different. You have beautiful tropical beaches, and then you have like Hobbiton. Like one friend said it yesterday, it's like Hobbiton, like Middle Earth had a baby with Hawaii. Like you just have both. And it's just fantastic. It is so beautiful. Again, you can see a lot of it in my vlogs on how much variety this island has. We have beautiful waterfalls, we have beautiful forests, beautiful parks, beautiful beaches. There's so much you can do and you can see. And I think that's like the main thing on this island, is that kind of a variety. I've been here now for, I don't even know, 8-9 months. I lost count, but I still haven't explored everything yet. And I've met many people here from the island that have lived here all their lives, and they're also still not done exploring this island or the other islands. There's just so much to see and to do. It's crazy, and I love that. Everyone is loving that. Can't be mad about it, right? What we don't have here on this island, and this is something I personally like, is that we don't have as many or at all like these all-inclusive hotel resorts. You know, the ones that you usually see in like Egypt and Turkey, where you have like one all-inclusive hotel after another. We don't have that. We have beautiful hotels here. Don't get me wrong. We have beautiful, amazing hotels here, but it's not like these all-inclusive resorts. And I love that. I love that this island is more and more touristy, of course, especially during summer, but not in the sense where you have like these big buses driving around and just like resorts filling up. You don't have that. You have beautiful hotels, especially here in Ribeira Grande. There's one, it's the Santa Barbara Beach Resort. It is so beautifully done because it's like built almost like seamlessly into the nature. Like you don't even see it from far away, or even when you like drive towards the hotel, it is like so almost hidden, and I love that. Also, the Terra Nostra Hotel in Fornash, it's not hidden, but it's a beautiful build, has a beautiful park. It's so beautiful and so nice. So yes, you also have some very obvious hotels in Ponta in the city, but it kind of like matches the city vibes. And then here, it kind of like matches the beachy, more natural vibes, and it's just beautiful. And I love that. It's so, so great. Another thing is short waves. Also one that goes into both directions. We have very short waves on the island. Again, it's an island. It's not as small as you would think, but it's actually quite easy to go from one side to another, or at least, especially when you're from Ponta or Ribera, you can go into any direction very quickly, and I love that. You do have to have a car. That's one thing, is you have to have a car or someone that has a car, because we do not have any public transport. We have buses, yes, but they're like, I don't even know. And I think in Ponta, there's like buses that are like once per hour, but, or like a couple times a day, but it's not really a thing. Like it's not fun if you're dependent on that for a long time. I think in the beginning, yes, it worked. I did it. It was fine, but it's not the best experience, especially not long term. You do have to have a car. For some reason, we still, well, actually not for some reason, because it's like a small island and not too many cars. We don't really have any traffic, and we have very low pollution. The air is still fine, even though you are dependent on a car, but it's because we don't really have as many people here and not as many cars, so that's great, but you have to have a car. So we also have very short ways. Like you have a car, but it's quick roads. It's just like it goes up and down. It's just impossible. I feel like and then again too far away if you're just dependent on a bike, or yeah. So you have to have a car. What is a little bit longer are the ways, depending on where you're from on this planet, the ways back home. So when I visited my family now over Christmas, I had to take 2 flights. So I went to Paris and then Hamburg, and on the way back was Lisbon and then the island. And some of my friends are from Hungary, and I think they even have a few more steps they have to take, I think. So it really depends. And also one of my friends is from Sweden, and she also has 2 stops minimum, if not 3, to the area of Sweden where she's from. So it's not the easiest place for even my family to visit me. My dad is coming soon, I'm so excited, but it is not the easiest to come and visit you just for like a quick trip. Again, depending on where you're from. If you want to go to Lisbon, it's very easy. Even if you want to go to New York, that's not far away. Like we're in the middle of the ocean. New York, super easy. It's like 4.5 hours, maybe 5. And then Lisbon is also very quick. So if you want to go there, very easy, very quick, very luxurious to be in a place like that. But everything behind that is a little bit, further away. Have to keep that in mind. The life here is a lot more simple, a lot more slower. There's like kind of like a no stress kind of life. And I love that so much. And it has to do with a lot of the factors that I already told you, but also because things take a little bit longer. For example, my laptop had to be shipped to the mainland, and had to go into the laboratory on the mainland because it was very humid from the inside, and it started to kind of like fall apart. And it took a minute to get back here. It took 5 weeks in total. So the most of the time it was just on the way to the mainland and on the way from the mainland back on the island. I think they repaired it within a few days, if not just in one day. Like, it was a very quick fix itself, but it took a while to get back on the island and also being, shipped to the mainland. And I also ordered, I have a very nice microphone that I cannot use right now because when I tried it out in Germany, I made a small mistake, and I actually do need a different cable for this. And I ordered it last week or the week before, and it's not coming before February 4th. So it takes almost 3 weeks to get here. And I ordered it from Amazon because they didn't have it in store, and because they also don't have the Rode brand in store here. They couldn't order it for me, so I had to order it online anyways. And a lot of companies, and I think even Rode, like the original website, the Portuguese one, doesn't necessarily ship to the Azores, to this island. So sometimes when you want to order stuff, they say we don't ship to the Azores. We ship to Lisbon, but not to the islands. And that is a big con in some areas. Of course, it's annoying because it's more expensive for them, so they say no. So some of the things are not as available here as in other areas. But on the other hand, it makes life here a lot more simple, a lot more even carefree. Yes, I just said some of the stuff is very annoying, but during the time I didn't have my laptop, I was fine. I was very happy. I was still living life. I was still managing to do some work. I was still able to kind of like survive. My work is all depending on a laptop and Wi-Fi. Like, I'm self-employed and I work from home, but I have to have a laptop and I have to have Wi-Fi, and I was still able to do some stuff. I realized that life is still beautiful and I'm still fine even if I don't have the thing that I feel like my life depends on it, because it doesn't. It was still fine, and I'm so, on the one hand, very grateful for this experience, but just genuinely grateful for this island, for having this kind of like slow, carefree, everything is going to be fine, everything is going to turn out the way it should kind of like way of life. And I just love it. And all of my friends agreed to this. They all had this as a pro on their list as well. It's just something that we all just highly appreciate and love. And with that, people here are just absolutely amazing. Every single person I met here is so helpful, so grateful, so cheerful, so happy, and just loving life. I feel like there's also probably people that are very unhappy to live here. But I feel like if you're like a person that is like naturally just negative, hates life, is focusing on the things that don't work out, they won't survive here. They won't be happy here. They would have to leave the island as soon as possible, go back to their old life. They would not make it here. Like, it's just not possible for them. Like, their core structure just would fall apart because it's just like a completely different life here. So yeah, I just love it. Everyone is just so welcoming, so patient, something that I had to learn. I'm a very impatient person. But I'm learning to be more patient, and this island brings out the best in me. I cannot say it any different. Like, this island really brings out the best in me, and I'm so grateful for it. But I also do and love the things you can do here. So fun. Like, all the hobbies I do here. I loved snorkeling in summer. I cannot wait to go snorkeling again. Right now the ocean is a little bit too wide and too cold, but I love it. Can wait. I love my horse riding. I love that I get to do it here almost every day now, which I wasn't able to do before. I mean, it's nothing that is just highly dependent on this island, but it just brings out the best in me and my possibilities, and it's just amazing. I can ramble on like for hours on this one, but let's continue. Yeah, there's also quite a lot of festivals in summer. I'm not a festival person, to be honest. But my friends told me that there's a lot of festivals during summertime, and also really good and known artists, which I didn't know, but I also don't know any of these artists. But they said they were very famous ones that were here on the island and playing on the festivals and concerts. And tickets are quite cheap. So one of the festivals, which was the Monteverde one, it was 28 euros, and even I know that that is very cheap for a festival ticket, and the festival was absolutely insane and crazy and so good. So you have local prices, but you have international artists, which is absolutely fantastic and crazy and great. And even for me, that is not a festival person, loved it. I went to 2 festivals, and they were fun, they were great. And if you really are into festivals, you would have loved them even more. Absolutely fantastic. So there's a lot to do in summer, but also during the winter time. Like, they really find a way to celebrate life here. But it's sometimes a little bit difficult. That's actually a con I have not written down, but I just remembered something. Sometimes people here, or the festivals, or like smaller even markets, they're supposed to be, I think even today, like a market here in my town, and I didn't know about it. They don't really take advertisements seriously, and they don't really do a good job on it, I feel like. They sometimes then say, well, we posted it on Facebook, and I do still have a Facebook profile. Am I actively on it? No, absolutely not. And am I following the specific pages where they publish that? No. So I didn't know about it. It's a lot of like, if you know, you know, kind of like, if they have like their people that organize these kind of like markets or festivals, and they know people, and it's kind of like mouth to mouth kind of like advertisement. But for someone that is not so into these communities and integrated that much yet, sometimes it's very hard to find that out, and sometimes it's just too late. Like, then you hear someone telling about how cool the market was last week, and you're like, I would have loved to go, and I didn't know about it. So yeah, and one of my friends, she was so nice. She texted me the other day. She's like, "Do you want to go to ballet, to the theater to see like a ballet show tonight?" And I didn't have time that night, but I was like, "Oh, that is so cool," because I've never seen like a professional ballet performance before. I would love to see that. And I didn't know about it, and then I googled it. I found it again on Facebook, and now I know where to look for. But if you don't know, you don't know. You know what I mean? So yeah, but again, there's a lot to do still, even if you don't know anything. I think every new bar or restaurant is using Instagram more and more, so you kind of like you have an easier way, I feel like, to find stuff through stories of other people, their Instagram accounts that are getting recommended to you. So the more they use like Instagram and all other tools, I feel like the easier it will be in the future for you to figure that out and to know that. But right now for us, it's still a little bit more difficult. Anyways, let's talk about rent. Let's talk about accommodation. So I'm gonna make another video again next week. I think it will be, yeah, for next week, about how to move to the island. But one thing is that accommodations and rent is really depending on where you're from, if it's like cheaper or more expensive, if the quality is nicer or not. It really depends. So for me personally, I'm from Germany. I lived in the north of Germany and also the very south of Germany. Generally just expensive. I feel like I get more for my money here. Especially the apartment that I am right now. This is my dream apartment. I manifested that hardcore. It's absolutely dreamy. I love it so much. But even the furniture and the decor, like the colors of it, was manifested like to the T. And it's even bigger than I thought. But anyways, for a furnished apartment like this with an ocean view, I can see the ocean right now, by the way, like it's right there. With an ocean view and the green, like Hobbiton kind of like hills, kind of like small green hills right there. To have an apartment in a view like this in Germany, first of all, you cannot have this view in Germany, but I think something similar would be Lake Constance. The area of Lake Constance, you have the lake and you have the greenery behind you. A furnished apartment like this would probably be minimum twice as expensive, if not 3 times as expensive, especially because it comes with furniture and even like the TV, the washing machine, a dryer, a dishwasher, things like that. It would probably be 3 times as expensive for sure. So it really depends. On the other hand, what I can also see from sitting here, the wall right there that is like close to the windows, the paint is coming off because of the humidity, because of the moisture in the walls. These walls behind me are towards the neighbors, so I don't have any windows on this side. I only have windows in the apartments on this side. So there is some in my room, I think in the guest bedroom as well. Is there? I actually don't know, maybe. It would make sense, but the window is quite small. I don't remember, but especially here in the living room, because we have 2 big windows. The wallpaper is coming off a little bit and the paint is coming off from the wall a little bit. It doesn't bother me anymore. Like in the beginning I was like, oh my god, it looks like, what is that? It's like haven't they done a good job by building this? But they've done a good job building this. The quality is still nice. It's just the humidity. And I think even if you would put a German build, like a German house made in Germany here on the island, I still think it will have the same issues, because it's just something like humidity, moisture is just something these kind of materials like have to fight against at all times, and you can see it, but it's fine. So it doesn't bother me anymore. Again, my dad is coming soon and I'm gonna interview him at the end as well, and I think it's going to be very interesting to have his perspective on things as well, like the German dad, the German dad point of view on this island is going to be hilarious and very interesting. So I can't wait for that, but it's still going to take a few months. But I think that's also going to be very, very interesting to hear from him and to see. So yeah, another thing that is a little bit of a con, it also goes with the kind of like accommodation expensive, is that you have different noises here. So yes, it's an island, especially on the countryside, it is very quiet and nice, and the waves, like the sounds of the ocean, incredible. I think my favorite sound ever, love it. The waves are just, oh, I love it, so calming and relaxing. Especially during the summertime, it's a little bit more noisy here, especially on the roads. You have some motorbikes that are just so loud. Like you hear them from a mile away or longer, like 100 miles away it feels like, and you will hear them leaving, and it takes a while for them, like for the noise to disappear. Even if you don't see them anymore, you still hear them. And they are so brutally loud, especially when they pass you. It really triggers me. I have very sensitive ears and it really triggers me, and I get really angry for that moment, something I have to work on a bit more. So right now during the winter time, even now where it's sunny outside, we haven't heard one yet. I've been filming for 30 minutes, haven't heard one yet. It's not happening, because they're not out. But in the summertime, once it gets nicer for longer and the weather is a little bit more predictable, they will come out again and it will annoy the out of me. This is something I really don't like. This is my biggest con, is the noises of these bikes. It's like a gigantic mosquito. Like it's not fun. So again, on the countryside, it's probably a little bit more quiet, but here near the street, it's a little bit more annoying. One of my friends also mentioned that she can hear a lot of dogs barking in her street. That's because most of the dogs here, well, I don't know if it's most, but especially on the countryside, dogs are not held as like the part of the family, pet, best friend way. It's more, they have a purpose. They are held for guidance and security reasons. So they're in the garden at all times, or on the property outside at all times. and they're there to protect the property, which kind of makes sense. It's not nice to see for me because I just have a hard and difficult time to see that, but I get why they're doing it. I get where they come from, completely understand it in that level, but they do bark at anything and everything. And if one dog starts, the entire street will start barking. That's something she notices, but all of my other friends, they didn't because they don't really have the dogs in their area. So that's also really dependent on where you're at on the island, but something that I wanted to mention. And another thing, one of the last cons I have is that here on the island, they speak a completely different Portuguese than they do on the mainland. And it is very, very, very difficult. It is also because it's more countryside, islandy. We are a little bit further away. They develop their own accent, their own almost language. It's very hard. It is like, you know, there's like different dialects and accents in German as well. So there's like Austrian German, and I can tell you as a German myself, most of the Austrians I don't understand. Even in southern Germany, I had difficulties understanding them. Like in Bavaria, like this kind of like countryside, the southers of the south of Germany, I had difficulties understanding them. It's also like for English, there's American English and then there's Texas. You know, it's like you do somehow speak the same language, but it's completely different. That's the same for here. So even if you're pro in Portuguese, you have difficulties understanding it, and learning this kind of Portuguese is so difficult. So yeah, but on the other hand, because they're also friendly here, they're also nice here, they're very helpful. They try their best to speak good English. They try their best to help you out. They try their best to just like even support you and translate you, and like they're amazing. I'm so grateful. My accountant, she is an angel, because I am self-employed. So all the things you have to do to set up your company here, you have to do it in Portuguese. There's not even like an international English way to do it. There's only the Portuguese way to do it. And these kind of Portuguese terms are very difficult. And she was just such an angel. She did everything for me. So helpful. And yeah, it's just people like this make this whole experience just possible and effortless and easy. And I love it. I'm so grateful for it. So yeah, that's like my last and biggest pro is just how welcoming everyone is here. So yeah, I think, let me go over the list one more time, just in case I missed it. We had this, I talked about that, we had that. I think that's it, guys. If I missed anything, I will leave it in the comments down below. If you have something that I missed, please also leave it in the comments down below. I think that's very helpful. And if I find something else in the future, I will also leave it in the comments down below and update you guys. But that's basically it. That was a long video. I did not think it would be that long, but just this island keeps on giving, you guys. It's just such a fantastic place. And again, yeah, I can highly recommend coming here to visit or to even move here. And if you like this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, because next week there's another very important video for you, especially if you plan on moving here. You don't want to miss that. And then I will continue the vlogs very, very soon. I love you guys. Have a great day, and I see you in the next one. Bye.